This whole thing, came up as an idea in January, and it was, obviously a crazy, crazy idea. To plan a wedding without the bride even knowing about it. And so, I called most of the people involved, everyone in the wedding party at least, in January, and told them, oh, hey, we're going to have a wedding, a surprise wedding in September.
I love you for 1,000.
Every step of the way, people have been asking me, like, she doesn't know? Like, there's no way she doesn't know. Like, how could you possibly do that? And you didn't know.
Yeah, because you guys told me that we were going to celebrate your parents' wedding anniversary this weekend.
Yeah, so we did this whole thing under the disguise of my parents' 30th wedding anniversary, which is on Monday. And so we said, hey, it's going to be for a family trip, and we're going to recreate this family photo. And, so that's how we tricked Katrina into getting this dress. So that was already covered, and then everything else just kind of fell into place. Everyone wanted to volunteer and, be part of the surprise and this special day that we're able to share with everyone.
Clay, in the presence of God and these witnesses, promise to love and to honor in sickness and in health, in prosperity and adversity this woman whose hands you now hold? And you promise to be to her a true and a faithful husband, to cleave unto her for all the days of your life? If so, say I do.
I do.
Good. Katrina, do you, in the presence of God and these witnesses, promise to love and to honor in sickness and in health, in prosperity and adversity this man whose hands you now hold? Do you promise to be to him a true and faithful wife, to cleave unto him for all the days of your life? If so, say I do.
I do.
Good. And you brought symbols of your love for each other. Those would be the rings. I'll hold this. Nice. There's a reason that we give rings to each other. Most people don't even think about it. It's just such a tradition in a wedding. There's two reasons we give rings. The first is this: they're costly. But the point is this, Clay, there's nothing more valuable in her life than this ring. To cherish her and to let her shine like this ring. And if you love her well, she will shine. The other is this: rings. There's You're just getting started. There is no end to the love that you're to have for each other. So Clay, I'm going to ask you to do this. Would you take this ring, and would you place this on Katrina's ring finger? And I'm going to ask you to repeat after me. I, Clay,
I, Clay,
give you this ring
give you this ring
as a promise
as a promise
of my faithful love.
of my faithful love.
With this ring,
With this ring,
I vow to you
I vow to you
that you'll be my wife,
that you'll be my wife,
and I will love you always.
and I will love you always.
Katrina, would you take this ring? Place that on Clay's ring finger. Repeat after me. I, Katrina,
I, Katrina,
give you this ring
give you this ring
as a promise
as a promise
of my faithful love.
as my faithful love.
With this ring,
This ring,
I vow to you
I vow to you
that you'll be my husband,
that you will be my husband,
and I will love you always.
and that I will love you always.
Oh, her eyes make the stars look like they're not shining. Her hair falls perfectly without her trying. She's so beautiful, and I tell her every day.
Oh my gosh, it was like so surreal. I couldn't even believe it. We got here and we were running so late, and so I was just like, okay, whatever, you know, it's just your family, and let them know we'll be late for dinner, and you know, all that. And then we get here and he's just like, yeah, we'll go in here. And I was like, okay. And so he opened the door and he just pushed it open, and then like he goes like this. So I'm like, okay, let's go inside. And then I look in, and there's literally like probably almost everyone that I know. That's like family and friends, and I was just so shocked. I couldn't even believe it. And I just kind of like froze. I don't even know what I said or if I said anything. And I see Lacey and Stevie and Michael and Levi, and they're the friends from North Carolina. And I've been missing them so much. And I just see them and I'm just totally shocked. And then I look around and then I just like, I think I just put my head down and I start crying. And then I go and I give them hugs. And to me, I'm thinking like, what is everyone doing here? Because to me, I never thought that we would ever be able to do something like this. So it didn't even pop in my head, not once, that I thought we were going to go on a trip somewhere, because he told me that there was a surprise planned because I was going to school and we were worried that my externship was going to fall on this date. So he told me about it so that if an externship did come, that I didn't say like, okay, yeah, I can do it. So he's like, if anything happens in September, you're going to have to pass. And I was like, okay. So I thought we were going on a trip or something, and I never guessed in a million years that we were going to do this. So I'm crying and I'm hugging everybody because I'm so excited that they're there, and my mom's there too, and my dad and my stepmom and everybody. And she says, do you know why everyone's here? And I was like, no. She's like, really? I was like, I have absolutely no clue. And then she's like, well, Clay, why don't you tell her why we're all here? And then what did you say?
Oh, I said, you know, Katrina, we never had a wedding, and that's why everyone's here, so we can have a wedding with all of our family and friends.
And I was just like, and I started crying more. I was just crying my eyes out probably the whole time. It was just, I seriously could not believe it. Just crazy.
Good crazy?
Super good crazy. And then I was so excited last night I couldn't even sleep. It was crazy. I was laying in bed because like, okay, I gotta get up early tomorrow and do all kinds of stuff. And so I'm watching TV, you know, and it's midnight, and then it's 1 o'clock, and then it's 2 o'clock, and I'm like, okay, so I just rolled over and I was just like, okay, you need to go to sleep. And then maybe like 10 minutes later I fell asleep. It's just so weird. It didn't even like really sink in until I think I was getting ready. Like they were doing my hair and they were doing my makeup, and then that's when I think it really sunk in, like, holy crap, we're really gonna do this.
We did it.
You did it. I just showed up.
I did do it.
Just the way you are. When I see your face, there's not a thing